What's up, y'all? It's your girl Pretty Dreeks, and today we back with another video. Y'all remember to comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. If you new here, welcome to the Dreeks gang. Hey, let's get it. But today I want to talk about willingness. So let's hop into the video. Okay, willingness. So you have to have the will, and you have to have the effort to want to get something done. When I mean you have to have the willingness and you have to have effort, I mean simply you just need to motivate yourself to the point where you see nothing different but being the greatest that you can be and becoming the greatest that you can be. Stop focusing on stuff that you cannot change. Stop focusing on people that's bringing you down. Stop focusing on all the negativity, because that's going to keep you in a place where you're trying to get out of. These are distractions. I'm telling you, these are distractions. You have to have a strong mindset. You have to have the will to want to overcome, how can I put this, tough situations, because in life we are all going to go through trials and tribulations. To tell you this in the Bible. So yeah, we'll all face trials and tribulations, but that does not define our last place. You know what I mean? It's not where you start, it's where you finish. Always take that in consideration. But you, like I said, you have to have the will to want to keep pushing even when times get tough. It's gonna be hard. Life is hard. We all experience different things at different times, different seasons, different people. It's different lessons, but you have to have a strong mindset to keep pushing forward, because I always remember it's somebody out there that's going through something a lot 10 times worse than what you are. So be grateful in the moment, take what you can take in the moment, and do what you need to do. Continue to have that will to want to grow. I know I always say this, but you want to surround yourself with like-minded people. You want to surround yourself with a person who's doing a lot better than you. You need to surround yourself with people who's doing as much as you're doing, and then you can have people around you that's like not on your level, because you can help them and you can show them along the way, like, this is what you can be. But you never want to stay in a place where you just become stagnant. And life is about growth. It's a cycle. You know what I mean? Life is a cycle. We don't want to stay in the same spot forever. And I feel like a lot of times during a certain season, people lose their will because they feel like they're off track. They feel like they're doing something wrong. They feel like they're not in a place that they're supposed to be in. But in our reality, we're on God's timing, and He have us exactly where He need us to be. We know how God allowed things to happen. You never know, in this season, God has a person that He's trying to reach through you. So take what you need to take from the experience. It don't last forever. I promise you. It might seem like 10 years, 12 years, but I promise you it don't last forever. You're in that season for a reason. Whether it's a lesson, you're trying to get somebody else to learn something, you need to learn something. It's a season, and it's a reason in the season, most definitely. I want to talk about myself for a little bit. I remember where I was in a season where I used to just work out a lot, and now that I look back, I see why I used to go work out. I was hurt. I just feel like I wasn't heard. And when I went to the gym, I felt great about myself. Like, it motivated me to want to keep pushing forward. So I say that to say, find something that you can get into that can keep your mind off of all the negativity, all the negative stuff. Find something that could help you along the way, because you don't ever want to feel like you lose your will to want to do something, because then you become complacent in where you're at, and that's not where you want to be. I want to share a testimony with y'all. I remember when I was working at Burger King. That's kind of like my only real job I had that I stayed at like the longest. I work fast food places. I work like at Pounder, Burger King, Old Navy, Kirkland's. Those are like the only places that I've ever worked in my life. If you don't know, if you're new here, I am a stay-at-home mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom for about 2.5 years. But yeah, but to get back on subject, I remember when I was working at Burger King, and a lady had came through the drive-thru, and she had this nice car, and I remember going up to the drive-thru window, and I had gave her her card back, or whatever. And I was like, man, like, ma'am, I love your car. Like, it's so nice. And she was like, oh, really? Thank you so much. And I went back, to get her food for the drive-thru, and something had happened. I think I had to go take an order from the inside or whatever of the store. And my manager had went to the window to give the lady the food. And I had walked back after taking the person's order in the front to, go back to give her food. And I had seen that he had took her food. But he was walking back to me. He was like, the lady in the drive-thru had told me to give this to you. And I was like, what you mean? And he was like, she told me to give this to you. And I had opened it up, and she had, left me $100 bill. And I was like, oh my God. And it was like, I couldn't even go back and tell her thank you because she already had left. But I feel like during that season, even I was working at Burger King, a fast food restaurant. God still uses people. You know what I mean? And like I said, I know this might have been off subject, but his will, like his will manifest. His will always, be brought to where he needed to be. And I just want to thank that lady. And I remember just praying, and I remember just, saying, I just pray that God multiply her blessings. But yeah, his will always be done, and God always had a will to want to help us. We just need to put the action behind what we want to do, because in life he gives us free will, and free will is just us making a choice whether we want to do this or we don't want to do this. He loves us that much to give us free will. So a lot of times when we're going through stuff, people be like, why is God putting me through this? Like, first he allows stuff to happen. He does allow stuff to happen, but only to help you. He don't ever allow anything to happen to hinder you from anything. If he takes something away, he's going to replace it with something better. But a lot of times it's the choices that we make that, how can I put it? It's the choices that we make that slow down the process. I feel like if it's in God's will, it will happen. It's going to happen, but it's the choice that we make that slow the process down. So I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, next time you be like, man, it's just God. Like, why he got me going through this? Take in consideration that he have given you free will, and you have made the choices that you've made. It's not always God. It's not always God's fault. God can be protecting you from something, because on our timeline, we see the physical time. We see what's going on right now. God is on a whole different spiritual realm. He can see stuff from a whole different perspective than what we see. So that's why we can't even question God. You know what I mean? You can't question something. Like, you can only see what's in front of you. God sees 10 years, 20 years what's in front of you, and he sees how in this moment this can affect what can be happening later on down the timeline. So take in consideration that God can be protecting you from something. It might seem like it's tough during the moment, but you'll look back on it and be like, man, that's the reason why I went through that, And I'm not saying that we make bad choices all the time, and that's the reason why things happen the way that they happen. Sometimes things need to happen for us to learn from it. If we continue to do the same things over and over and over, and God see us doing the same things over and over and over, he's going to have to step in, and he's going to have to put his foot in and switch up some stuff, because he see us destroying ourselves. He see that what we're doing in this season is destroying you. It's destroying us. And once he places his foot in that situation, I promise you it's going to be a lot better. It's going to feel a lot better. And sometimes it might not feel a lot better, but the outcome will always be the best thing that has happened in that whole situation. So yeah, I'm probably about to end the video right here. Y'all remember to comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. If you have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section. If you have any topics that you want me to discuss, I'm here. And I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Bye.